This guy paints so tactically. He's probably an expert wargamer. Open the box. I'm just going to say stupid things for the entire time. We got the man who has the classic, I was cast all in one piece, and so my weapon is all funky and twisty. I'm going to put it on my painting handle. The handle you use for painting. I put the blue paint on my wet palette and I like thin it down because that's how miniature paints are. You gotta thin them down. And now I'm using a little tiny brush and I'm painting it on the guy in all the places where I think he ought to be blue. Because you gotta start with the colors that are kind of the most prevalent, because that way you can afford to be a little sloppy. It's silver time. This is speed paint, which means I don't have to thin it because it's already thin. And it's so thin that it just runs on all over the place. Ah! That's a professional move right there. I really, really like the speed paints because they give a kind of highlight effect without me actually having to know how to do highlights. This guy is holding a glaive, which is a medieval weapon. It's kind of like a spear, but more slashy. It's like a sword, kind of, but like on the end of a spear kind of deal. They're my favorite. I don't have to be super careful with the places I haven't painted yet, but sometimes I am anyway. That sounds like something Brad Ross would say, right? Yeah, it's a happy little glaive. But I think I will give him brown boots. Since we already have the brown here, we can sneak some brown up in his boots. Sneak some boot up in his brown. Which sounds like an innuendo, but it's not. I just made it up. Yellow is unfortunately a horrible color for paint, but sometimes takes a really long time to get enough coats. We're gonna paint him's face using this paint. We're gonna get some skin color paint from this paint pot. Chris Love Flesh, because Games Workshop has to give their paint silly names. But then again, so does Army Painter, because this one's called Demonic Yellow, but spelled with an AE so that you know they're fancy. I'm going to mix paint, guys. It's going to get crazy up in here. This is a special paint called a wash. You can tell because it says wash on the paint. Zoom. I assume that was a zoom. Basically, a wash is almost like paint, except for that it's the runny. It just gets on down in the cracks and leaves dark spots. Sometimes I worry I apply the brush too liberally. We gotta absolutely slap it on anything that's even moderately detailed. Makes his face look good. Because I'm too scared to paint his eyes, we can at least get some shadows in there in his face details. All washed and on his little rock with his glaive, which I love. He's got his bow and his arrows on his back. He's got his sword at his hip. He's absolutely decked out. Real master at arms, this guy.